And I cannot stress enough that everybody in this country has something at stake when it comes to education. No matter your age, no matter if you're currently in school, if you have children, or if you don't have children, because our country is built on our educational system.
About it. Hey, so why don't you tell me a little bit more about the Badass Teacher Association?
Okay. It started out as a Facebook group, just a bunch of angry teachers got together. And they said, let's do this. It started in June, beginning of June, and within the first week they had about, I want to say 10,000 members, and they grew to 35,000 now. Is currently we're about 35,300 and growing still. It's advocates, it's teachers all across this country, and they are becoming activists. We are not just sitting and complaining. We're coming up with solutions. We're taking action through Twitter blasts and email blasts and call-ins to try to get our legislators aware that they are being watched, that we know what's happening, and that we're going to pay attention to how they vote and what they're voting on. I've said worse to his face.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the legislation that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks to do with education.
There's a few things that are going to be coming forward. Students First is a corporate reform organization. They are pro-charters, and they also go after teacher tenure. And so they are proposing through their lobbyists, they're going to be proposing, and I heard this straight from their Alabama person, that they are going to try to get rid of the last in, first out rule. So that a new teacher could potentially keep their job and a teacher of 10 or 20 years could be let go. And then you get into the issues of tenure and all that stuff, which, you know, tenure is not what people think it is. I encourage everyone to get educated on the real meaning of tenure and its purpose before you go bashing it. But yeah, so that's going to be put before the legislation, and also they're reworking the Accountability Act. They're wanting to expand it to cover all students, not just the ones in failing schools. I've heard that that's also going to be presented too. And of course, Common Core, the powers that be are trying to keep it out. They don't want to talk about it because they know if they talk about it that there's going to be a lot of pushback. There actually are more people against Common Core than for it. It's the problem, the people that are for it are the ones with the loudest voices and the position of power. The people need to come together, they need to raise their voice, and they need to speak out against Common Core because we are the larger number and we need to stop it.
Hey Terry, thanks so much for talking with us today. We just wanted to say what's the most important takeaway for us, and let us know how we can find you on Facebook too.
I think the most important thing is to understand that people that are against the corporate reform movement and against Common Core are not extremely left and extremely right. It's a nonpartisan issue. The corporate reformers aren't blue or red, they're green. They're about money. And so we need to get outside of our boxes of blue and red and what a liberal and conservative is, and we need to look at the facts. I tell everybody that we need to educate the public about public education. You need to do your own homework. You need to start looking things up on the internet and find out for yourself what all this really means, because there's so much corporation money behind it that's pushing our media and everything else, that what you're hearing is not necessarily the facts, but the facts are easy to find if you just do your own homework. And you can start at the Badass Teacher Association on Facebook, and also they have their own website. If you're not a Facebook user, find us at badassteacher.org, badassteacherassociation.org. And I have my own site here for Huntsville issues, SOS Support Our Students on Facebook, so be sure and check that one out too for more local issues.
Okay, thanks so much for helping us make Alabama stronger.
All right, thank you.